In the previous lecture, we have started to discuss the device theory of a specific heat of solids, or you can also say lattice heat capacity of solids. You have seen actually the device theory is based upon some assumptions which makes it different from the Einstein's theory. You have seen in Einstein's theory that the Einstein has made an assumption that the atoms of the solid are vibrating with same frequency, and so the result obtained by Einstein was not very successful in explaining the experimental fact. So to remove this discrepancy, Debye made some different assumptions, and you have seen all those assumptions in the previous lecture. But for your convenience, I have again mentioned the important assumptions made by Debye to develop the theory of lattice heat capacity. So you can see here that according to Debye theory, actually the crystal lattice as a whole vibrate with a range of frequencies. There is not a particular frequency, but there will be a frequency from 0 to a upper limit, and that upper limit of frequency is known as Debye frequency. And in fact, since the solids are actually closely packed structure, so Debye made the consideration that you cannot think that the vibration of an atom will be independent of the vibration of other atoms. So in Debye theory, we consider that the atomic vibration in a lattice are strongly coupled and cannot be considered independently. In fact, Debye had also made some of the other important assumptions which you can see here, and already I have discussed these things in your previous lecture. And on the basis of these assumptions and making the use of the formula derived by Planck for the average energy of a harmonic oscillator, Debye obtained the expression for the energy of 1 mole of a solid. In fact, in the previous lecture, you have seen how this energy expression for this energy can be obtained and what is that expression. So, for your convenience, I have mentioned that result which we have already obtained in the previous lecture here. You can see in this equation A, this U is actually the energy of 1 mole of a solid or 1 mole of a crystal, and that this equation reads U equal to 9 NaH divided by nu d cube integral 0 to nu d nu cube d nu over e to the power h nu by kt minus 1. This is the result which we have derived in the previous lecture. Now, in fact, in this lecture, our aim is to find the specific heat of solids or the lattice heat capacity of the solids or crystals. So, let us now see how we can find the specific heat of solids at a given temperature T. You know from definition of specific heat, this specific heat Cv is nothing. This is simply the partial derivative of the energy of 1 mole of the substance. So Cv is defined like this: Cv equal to del U by del T. And you can see I have mentioned the expression for U which we have obtained in the previous lecture. So let us put at the place of U this expression for U which is defined in equation A. So you can see, since 9 NaH over nu d cube is a constant factor independent of temperature, so it has been taken outside of the operator. And so this is 9 NaH over nu d cube times del T integral 0 to nu d nu cube d nu over e to the power h nu minus kt h nu by kt minus 1. And as you know, this partial derivative may be operated before this integral according to the rules of calculus. So you can see I have operated this del T on the integrand, and After that we will actually integrate this. So this equation may be written like this. Now you can see this factor in the denominator e raised to the power h nu by kt minus 1 has been taken in the upper side, and so here is power minus 1. Now let us try to differentiate this factor inside this square bracket in RHS of this equation. This is just a simple differentiation. You can do it easily. Let us see here. So CV will be equal to what? See the equation. 9NaH over nu d cube. 9NaH over nu d cube, and integral 0 to nu d, and now we will differentiate this function with respect to t. Since nu is the frequency of vibration and it will be independent of t, so take it outside of the differential operator. So this will be simply nu cube. And now differentiate this factor e raised to the power h nu by kt minus 1 to the power minus 1. So you can see this is just a function of function. First of all, this will be differentiated with respect to e raised to the power h nu by kt minus 1. And what will be that? You know from the formula of calculus for differentiation, just x to the power n, that will be equal to minus 1 times e raised to the power h nu by kt minus 1 to the power minus 2. Minus 1, that will be minus 2 times. Now we will differentiate this e to the power h nu by kt minus 1 with respect to t. And you know 1 is a constant, so its dc will be 0. So we have to differentiate only e raised to the power h nu by kt with respect to t. So first of all, we will differentiate it with respect to h nu by kt. You know dc of e to the power x is simply e to the power x. So this will be e to the power h nu by kt. But this will be only when you will differentiate this function with respect to h nu by kt. Now we will differentiate this h nu by kt with respect to t. Since h nu by k is a constant factor, so dc of 1 by t will be what? That will be minus 1 over t square. You know it. And this is d nu. So this is the derivative of that factor with respect to t. Now let us simplify it a little bit. You can see this is 9NaH over nu d cube and nu d cube, and see here this k times t square. This can be taken outside of the integral, and this nu should be taken inside the integral, because nu is not a function of t, but we have to integrate this nu, so nu will remain inside the integral. So this will be 9NaH over nu d cube, and here h is again a constant factor, so there will be h square, you can see, and kt square we will take it outside of the integral, kt square, and see this is integral 0 to nu d, and see here there is minus 1 here, and again here is minus, so this minus will become plus, and so you can see this will be e to the power h nu by kt over. Now take this factor in the denominator. This will be e raised to the power h nu by kt minus 1 whole square, and see here nu cube times nu, see here nu, this will be nu 4 d nu, nu 4 d nu. Now we can write this in this manner: 9 into Na times k, although there is no k in the numerator, but I have multiplied it by k, so we will also divide this expression by k, and h square over nu d cube, and now we will write k square because we have multiplied by factor k in the numerator, and t square, and integral 0 to nu d e raised to the power h nu by kt over e raised to the power h nu by kt minus 1 whole square, and nu 4 d nu, nu 4 d nu. Now you can see, as you know, the product of Avogadro number and the Boltzmann constant K is equal to R, which is actually universal gas constant. You have used this relation several times. So instead of this Na into K, you can write in fact R. So expression for Cv will be what? That will be 9R over nu d cube, and h over kt whole square, because each h, k and t contains the power 2, so I have written h over kt whole square, and integral 0 to nu d e raised to the power h nu over kt over e raised to the power h nu over kt minus 1 whole square, and nu 4 d nu, nu 4 d nu. Let us say this is equation 1. In fact, to express this expression in a simpler form, we will make some of the important substitutions here. So what will be the important substitution? You can see, and after making those substitutions, this equation 1 will be in a simpler form, so that we can easily evaluate the integral in this equation. So let us put h nu over kt, this is equal to psi. I have considered it, and therefore you can see what will be nu. Nu will be equal to kt over h times psi, and this implies d nu, because in our equation there is d nu, so we will evaluate this d nu in terms of psi. This will be kt over h d psi, kt over h d psi. Now we will introduce a particular constant. So let us introduce a constant, and we denote this constant by the symbol theta d. Actually this is known as divide temperature. We will see it sometimes later. So, and this theta d, we define it like h nu d over k. In fact, when you will find the dimension of this h nu d by k, you will see that its dimension is simply the dimension of temperature. So this theta d represents some of the temperature, and actually we call it the devised temperature of the solid. So this theta d is known as Debye temperature of the solid. Debye temperature of the solid. Now you can see that the limits of integration for nu are 0 and nu d, and we are going to change the variable nu in terms of psi. So first of all we will change this limits to. So you can see when nu is equal to 0, this is actually the lower limit of our integral, then see the above equation here. You can see this equation. When nu will be equal to 0, then you can see that this psi will be equal to 0. Then psi is equal to 0. So when you will change the variable nu to psi, the lower limit will not change, because when nu is 0, then psi is also 0. And when you can see this nu is equal to nu d, that is the maximum possible frequency of vibration, then what will be the value of this psi? You can see, since psi, you can see here, this is h nu by kt. So when nu will be nu d, then the value of psi will be what? Then the value of psi, this will be h nu d over kt. But we have assumed that this h nu d over kt is equal to theta d. So you can write it theta d over t. So now you can see that this theta d is definitely a temperature, because h nu d divided by kt, you know, this is a dimensionless number. So for this, theta d must have a dimension of temperature. And for simplicity, we take this ratio theta d over t as equal to x. We consider it. You may not consider this x. You can make your calculation in terms of this theta d by t, but for convenience I am writing it simply equal to x. Now after making the use of these substitutions in this equation number 1, you can see what will be the expression for Cv. We can easily write it. So see, the factor which is outside of this integral, there will be actually no change in this factor which is outside of the integral, but in the factor inside the integral you can see e raised to the power h nu by kt, but you have assumed that h nu by kt is equal to psi. So instead of h nu by kt, we will write psi. We will write psi. And instead of nu, we will write this much, kt over h times psi. And instead of d nu, we will write kt over h times d psi. So let us make the use of all these things in our equation number 1. See here. So making use of these in equation 1. One thing you can also see here, actually when we will take nu equal to nu d, see here, when you have taken nu equal to 0, then psi 0 from this equation you can see, and when we will take nu equal to nu d, see here, nu equal to nu d, I have mentioned it already, so there is no need to write here, then psi is equal to this much or you can say that when we will write psi as a variable instead of in fact what instead of when you will write psi instead of the variable nu, then the upper limit will be simply equal to this side. Actually the pen has been see here. Sorry, there is some fault because the pen is not working. Yes, sorry, just pen was not working, so don't mind. I will continue the lecture so you can see. So now let us make use of these substitutions in equation 1. You can see here this factor, as I have told you, this will remain same. So CV will be what? CV is equal to 9R over nu d cube h by kt whole square. So this is 9R over nu d cube times h over kt whole square, and integral, as we have found the limit, and you can see the limits for psi will be now 0 to x, and e raised to the power h nu by kt, but h nu by kt is psi, so this will be e raised to the power psi, and divided by e raised to the power h nu by kt. You can see here, and instead of h nu by kt again you will write psi, so e psi minus 1 whole square, and there is the factor nu 4. So see here, nu 4, nu is this much, so this will be simply kt over h, sorry, kt over h, not t, kt over h. This is in fact h. Kt over h whole to the power 4 and times psi 4. You can see here. And d nu is this much. You can see this will be kt over h d psi. Now let us simplify this expression inside the integral, and you can see this will be actually kt to the power 5 over h to the power 5, but in outside there is h by kt whole square, so h by kt whole square will cancel out, and the remaining factor will be kt by h whole to the power 3. You can easily see the algebra. So you may write this CV will be equal to 9R over nu m cube, sorry, not nu m, but nu d. Instead of nu m, we will write nu d cube, times, you have seen the factor remaining will be kt by h to the power 3, and integral 0 to x. Now see, e raised to the power psi e raised to the power psi and this psi 4 d psi over e psi minus 1 whole square. So this will be e raised to the power psi times psi 4 d psi over e raised to the power psi minus 1 whole square. This will be the simplified form of that equation, which you can see in the we have seen actually in the above equation. Now let us see, we will actually include this nu d cube inside this bracket because it contains 3 power. So you may write it in this way. This is 9r times kt over h nu d whole cube and integral 0 to x e raised to the power psi 4 d psi over e psi minus 1 whole square. But see here this substitution. In fact, this h nu d by kt, we have assumed that this is actually equal to x or theta d by t. So instead of h nu d by kt, we will write x, or instead of kt by h nu d, you can write 1 by x. So use this substitution here. So this will be 9r into 1 over x cube. Kt by h nu d, this will be 1 by x, and there is 3 power, so this will be 1 over x cube, and integral 0 to x e raised to the power psi to the power 4 d psi over e psi minus 1 whole square. Now this expression may be written in a convenient form like this, because you know, according to classical theory, this Cv is equal to 3r. So I am writing it this 3r as a factor. So this is 3r times, since there is 9, so you can write this is 3 by x cube, and integral of 0 to x e psi to the power 4 d psi over e psi minus 1 whole square. Now this factor, see inside this square bracket, actually this factor is recognized as a function which is called divisor function. So we will write instead of this dx. Therefore you can write Cv equal to 3r into d of x. Actually this is a very important, or you can say the final result. And what will be the equation number? Can you say? I have assumed only one equation, so this is just equation 2. Actually, as I have told you, this d of x has been written for the factor inside this square bracket, and this is recognized as divisor function. So you can write it that this dx is equal to what? This is 3 over x cube, integral from 0 to x E psi psi 4 d psi over E psi minus 1 whole square, and this is known as Debye function. Debye function, and take it as equation 3. This is actually very important, so I have mentioned an equation number for it. Now we will try to evaluate this integral. So see the form of this integral. You can take here that this psi 4 as one factor, and e to the power psi over e to the power psi minus 1 whole square as second factor. So by the method of or by the rule of integration by parts, you can solve it. So let us take psi to the power 4 as one factor, and the rest means e to the power psi over e to the power psi minus 1 whole square as other factor, or you can say second factor, other factor. We have by integration rule by parts, you can see what will be this integral. Integral 0 to x e to the power psi to the power 4 d psi over e to the power psi minus 1 whole square. Actually here we will take this psi 4 as the first function, and e to the power psi over e to the power psi minus 1 whole square as the second function. And you know, according to this formula, we will have to write first function, that is this psi 4, and integral of the second function. In fact, integral of e to the power psi over e to the power psi minus 1 whole square, can you say what will be this? This will be simply minus 1 over e to the power psi minus 1. So this will be minus psi 4 divided by e to the power psi minus 1. And the limits are what? Limits are 0 and x. And then we have in fact a minus sign in the formula, and then you write integral from 0 to x differential of first function, and first function is psi 4. Its differential will be 4 psi cube. So this will be 4 psi cube, and integral of the second function. Second function is e psi divided by e psi minus 1 whole square, and its integral you have seen, this is minus 1 by e psi minus 1. So that minus and here this minus, that will become plus, and you can write this is 4 psi cube divided by e to the power psi minus 1 d psi. Now in first term put the limit. Instead of psi we will now write this x first of all. So this will be minus x4 divided by e to the power x minus 1. And when you will put the lower limit 0, this term will vanish. So there is no need to write the lower limit. And see here, plus. Now 4 is a constant factor, so take it outside of the integral. So this is 4 integral 0 to x psi cube d psi over e to the power psi minus 1. Actually, this second the integral in the RHS of this equation we will not evaluate now. In fact, we will evaluate this in two conditions. We will consider actually when temperature is high, then what will be this integral. When temperature will be low, then what will be this integral. Actually, in these specific conditions, the evaluation of this integral will be easy. But in general, the evaluation of such type of integral is very complicated, and there is no need to evaluate this in general situation, because our final aim is to discuss this specific heat of solid, particularly in the low temperature region and in the high temperature region. So I am not going to simplify this integral. We will see its simplification in those two particular situations. So you have evaluated this. Now you can see the definition or the meaning of this Debye function. So if you want to now get the value of Debye function d of x, what you will do? You will simply multiply this value of this integral by the factor 3 over x cube. So after getting this result, we can find the value of Debye function dx. So see here. Therefore, what will be d of x? You can see d of x is 3 over x cube times this integral, and instead of this integral we will now write this expression. This is minus x4 by e to the power x minus 1. This is minus x4 over e to the power x minus 1, and plus 4, see here, times this integral 0 to x psi cube d psi, integral 0 to x psi cube d psi over e to the power psi minus 1. See again. Yes, it is correct. And if you will multiply by this factor 3 by x cube in both of the terms, what will be your Debye function? You can see this will be minus 3x, here is x cube and here is x4, minus 3x over e to the power x minus 1, and plus this will be 12 divided by x cube and integral 0 to x psi cube over e to the power psi minus 1 d psi. This is actually the Debye function, and say this is equation 4. Now you can see the defining equation of this Cv, which we have obtained in this equation 2. Cv is 3r times of dx. So if you want to get the expression for Cv, you have to simply multiply the Debye function d of x by this 3r. So you can write the expression for Cv. So what will be Cv? Cv will be 3r times, you can see, minus 3x over e to the power x minus 1, and plus 12 over x cube integral 0 to x psi cube over e to the power psi minus 1 d psi. This is actually the final expression for the lattice heat capacity of the solid or the crystal. But as I have told you, this result for CV will depend on temperature, and our prime aim is to discuss the value of this CV or the temperature dependence of this CV, particularly when temperature will be low and when temperature will be high. But as I have told you earlier, that for your convenience or for the pleasure, we will not discuss all those things in this session, because that will be a long period and you will not then enjoy the lecture. So, in fact, in the next lecture, we will discuss the temperature dependence of this CV, particularly in low temperature region and in high temperature region. So, this final equation will be our starting equation in the next lecture. So definitely you should watch the forthcoming lecture for the remaining concept of Devi's theory of specific heat of solids.